Alright, this video is for my sporadic UFC content viewers, but this might be interesting to everybody. So, Tony Ferguson, interim lightweight champion, just recently had his wife take a restraining order out against him. We don't have a lot of confirmed information about what happened, but we do have some rumors about what happened after police did a welfare check on him in his home. Apparently, somebody had said that Tony Ferguson had been awake for 3 days, that he had torn apart his fireplace looking for recording equipment or something. He thought that somebody had put a chip in his leg from his leg surgery, and believed that there were people in his walls and people were watching him. Sounds kind of like paranoid schizophrenic behavior. Some people are afraid that he has post-concussion syndrome and that we might be looking at a Crispin-Waugh case. I sincerely hope not. But I think I have some insight from personal experience that may explain Tony's behavior that you might find interesting. So I had an ex-boyfriend of my mother's back from when I was in high school, around when I was 15. He was living with us. Kind of I guess a stepdad situation maybe. I don't know. Sounds weird to say, but he was a very smart, good-looking, and talented man. But whenever he abused meth, speed, or other drugs like that, he would stay awake for a very long time. He believed that like everything he could find on the floor was like a tracking device. Like he'd look for like little pieces of glass or plastic. He'd be looking up in the ceiling for fucking cameras, looking out the window like a cocaine fiend. And yeah, he'd get whacked out of his head, and eventually he ended up leaving because one time he thought my mother was a CIA agent sent to kill him, and he came after her with knives, and I had to intervene, which was fucking scary, but, you know, thankfully nothing violent happened, but he ended up going to jail and did not live with us anymore. Now, Tony Ferguson does train over at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Eddie Bravo, who's not a danger to anybody as far as I can tell, or overly paranoid, but he does believe some really crazy, scary conspiracy theories about the government. My mom's ex-boyfriend was very into conspiracy theory, big InfoWars watcher back in the day. You know, he hung around conspiracy theories too, just like I believe Tony Ferguson might. And Tony Ferguson is not the only UFC fighter that believes some kind of strange conspiracy theory shit. Like Tim Kennedy and Pat Miletich come to mind. Neither Tim Kennedy or Pat Miletich are particularly dangerous people, I think, although Tim Kennedy has pointed guns at people before, but in a totally legal way, like get the fuck off my property type ways, you know. But I love both Pat Miletich and I love Tim Kennedy, and I'm not trying to disparage either of them. I'm just using them as an example. Fucking boat. Sorry about that. Anyway, I really think that the best answer is Tony Ferguson either had a bad medicine reaction from medications he's taken, or he might have tried some speed or meth. The major clue is in, first of all, the schizophrenic type paranoia and the fact that he was quoted as being awake for 3 days. That's meth behavior. I sincerely hope that it actually was meth, as disparaging as that sounds, because the idea that he has severe concussion syndrome or that he's actually schizophrenic is much scarier, and I would much rather it was a temporary thing, like a bad trip on drugs, and that he gets his family back quick, he's back in the UFC cage quick, and his life goes on quick. That's what I really want, and honestly, I think that's the most likely answer, is some kind of drug was in his system, and it caused momentary psychosis. Anyway, that's my view on the subject. Tell me what you guys think. Thanks for watching.